everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
Yeah, it's our thing.
It is, and this movie is called Songbird. So you may have heard of it because it is among the first feature films about the pandemic, or in which the characters are also experiencing a pandemic. You may have heard it called Michael Bay's Songbird. In fact, he is the producer, not the director. So there are not as many explosions as you may have been counting on.
Well, it's good to lower people's expectations.
That's right. Simmer down. You were up here, you gotta bring it down there. Okay, so Songbird, directed by...
Not Michael Bay.
Okay, true. Directed by Adam Mason. So Adam Mason, if you know him at all, he's a very niche director. He's done weird one-offs like Hangman and Junkie and Pig. As of many of those, he writes this one along with his collaborator, Simon Boyes. It's kind of a departure for them. This one you will see variously categorized as a comedy, a drama, a romance, a thriller. I'm not sure it's any of those things. And I'm not sure where to put it in the big, long scheme of movie genres, except maybe ones that didn't need to get made.
Like the pandemic.
Sorry. The pandemic didn't need to get made.
It didn't need to get made. We could have done without it.
We were doing well without it. Well, were we? We were doing better.
Doing better.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So in this movie, it's actually 2024. Which may remind, it sounds so far away, and yet it's a mere 3 years away at this point. It is not far. But things have, we never really got back to the old normal. It's been a new normal, and then a new normal, and then a new normal, and now we're on COVID-23.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
blew past.
Way worse than 19, yeah.
Well, yeah. It's just becoming more and more deadly. So everyone is locked down in their homes. It's martial law. If you try to come out of your home, you will be shot on sight. That's how serious things have gotten.
Wow. It's
very contagious and it's very deadly. However, there are some people who are immune. We have established this fact. If you are immune, you can apply to get this fancy, well, it's actually not fancy at all. I feel like it should have been a lot fancier. But a yellow bracelet, a distinctive yellow bracelet that will scream to people, I am immune. And you need that because remember the whole shot on sight thing. That is a serious for real rule. So there are only a few people leaving their homes at all. And most immune people are still staying at home because it is not very nice out there. But a few are out there because the world needs people to do the grunt work, the bad work, for it to continue going. But if you live out there, then you live out there alone in isolation. Obviously, they are not letting you have any contact with anyone else, even really other immune people, because we don't know how... I mean, that's true even with the vaccine that is coming for us. We don't know if you could still possibly transmit it even if you are vaccinated.
Yeah.
And so you are living completely alone out there if this is your life. And so that's how we meet Nico. He is a courier. He is played by KJ Apa. And if you are a KJ Apa fan, you might be the only people who watch this movie because there is a slight reward. His naked butt in the shower. Okay, I said it. It's out there.
There you go.
It's brief. It's nice.
You can pause it, I guess.
I guess you can.
Maybe Jay did.
So he is a courier. He has lost everything. We don't ask him what that means. Lots of people have lost lots of people.
Sure.
So he is out there living completely alone. He does have a girlfriend. Her name is Sarah, played by Sofia Carson. And they are madly in love, but they have never been in the same room together. So that is the reality of relationships in a pandemic. And certainly it did put some weird hardships on people who are in lockdown over the winter.
Yeah.
But this is the new normal. So this is just how it is. So they do video chats on their phone. They talk through a door whenever he couriers stuff to her house. But that's basically it for them. And there is no great, like, light at the end of the tunnel.
No, there wouldn't be. Yeah.
So she's living with her grandma. He's living alone out in the real world. She hasn't left her apartment. And so his boss, basically, is Craig Robinson, who is, it's always funny for Lester, Craig Robinson, to be anybody's boss, I think. But
Yep.
So he is running this courier service from a safe place, because I don't think that he is immune, or at least he doesn't have the bracelet. The bracelet is very highly coveted, mostly I think by people who want to do bad things. But it is very hard to get a hold of one, even if you are immune. And then Paul Walter Hauser, he's like a wounded war veteran who sort of provides support via drone. And then over in another house, a much fancier house, a very wealthy house, we've got Demi Moore and Bradley Whitford, who play a married couple who are running a business together to take advantage of the pandemic because the rich get richer. Yeah, they're selling the bracelets. Spoiler alert. But they also have a daughter, a teenage daughter, who is immunosuppressed. So anytime anyone in that family, even if they themselves are immune, leaves the house, they could be bringing back something that would kill their daughter. So it's very contentious. I think Demi Moore is justifying her role in this by protecting the daughter and making sure they have a safe house over their head. The dad, Bradley Whitford, oh, you know, he's got that mischievous glint in his eye. He's never very far from his Billy Madison villain days, in my opinion. He's always a little bit that guy.
Yeah.
He leaves the house to do business, and by do business, you know what I mean.
Yeah, he has no business ethics.
I meant prostitution, but
Oh.
sure, yes. So another level of this is what kind of sex work is still being conducted in the pandemic, and Alexandra Daddario, some people out there will be very happy to know that she is the one who's going to explore this important topic for us in both lingerie and a bedazzled face shield. Ooh.
A bedazzled face shield,
Yes,
wow.
sir, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, somebody didn't hit pause when they should have, I see. Yeah, so that about rounds out the important characters that we're focusing on. Now, this is definitely, we are hitting dystopian levels because not only is the government making sure everyone's in their house, but if you are sick or living with someone who is sick, you're going to the Q zone. And we never see that because our people aren't there, because our people are doing everything not to go there because it is so bad. So, yeah. I mean, we could make a whole other movie just about that. We haven't, and we shouldn't let these guys do it. So these people are trying to stay out of the Q zone, but if you're even vaguely related to someone who's in there, you're getting thrown in as well. So entire buildings will be condemned if a few people in them have the virus. And there is a daily mandatory virus check via your phone, an app on your phone that scans you. So nobody is getting out of this. It's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, it's really a world of the haves and the have-nots, and health is the major have. But of course, the wealthy people will always have more. Yes, they will. Yeah, so we've got the munies. That's what we're calling the immune people.
That's
because
not a great name.
you always need
Yeah.
is shorthand for some reason.
Apparently in the future. Not really in the present, just in the near future.
Yes. That's right. And then we have Peter Stormare.
Oh.
Now, I said Bradley Whitford always had the whiff of villainy about
Yeah,
him. Peter Stormare is always full on
Yeah.
the villain. And I'm sorry, is it the accent? He does a really good
It's
villain
just him.
accent. It is him. And obviously he's embraced that.
Yeah. He's made a career out of it.
He has made a career out of this, and he's ultra bad in this, except for he's like a government official.
Oh, the worst
for the
kind of bad.
sanitation department.
Yeah.
And I don't mean
euphemism.
garbage, I mean
Yeah.
the human trash, I mean the people who have the virus. So he seems to really love hunting these people and murdering these people. Government sanctioned murdered.
The best kind.
You know. And it's scary because he was just like a lowlife when the pandemic started, but everyone above him just kept dying of the virus. And so he ascended, and now he's in charge, and he has no business ethics. So
Common theme.
now we're in trouble. You do not want this guy coming for you, and he's coming for everyone because he likes his job and he's working the system. Whew. So all that to say, yeah, it's a little complicated. There's a lot of moving parts to keep track of. They're all going to be related somewhat in the plot because why else? But the thing is, all of those genres, comedy, thriller, romance, it's really kind of none of those things because it's trying to be, I mean, first of all, it's not trying to be a comedy as far as I see. Yeah, it doesn't fit into anything. It's just trying to do too much. Clearly, because it was filmed during the pandemic, controversially, I think SAG-AFTRA had said, nobody's allowed to work for this. And then they rescinded it. But it was one of the first Hollywood movies to film. So it was in the early days. And you can tell because nobody really wrote a good script. Nobody put enough thought into this movie. So you could really tell that it was one of the first because it's one of the worst. It just doesn't have anything to say about it, and I felt like it was kind of dangerous because it's going to focus on the fear-mongering. So did it write a script based solely on like conspiracy theorist pages they found on Facebook? Maybe. You know, it does really focus on the martial law aspects and the stuff that's been taken away, you know, which is ridiculous because, hello, death rate, that is a real thing. I really felt like they were doing everything to ratchet up anxiety and very little to tell like a story or to make anything of it. And maybe that's why it's too early to be making pandemic movies because we don't know what the takeaway is here. And certainly these filmmakers probably wouldn't know it if it got injected into their arm. So, you know, I just wasn't feeling it. There were some okay parts. I felt like there were some interesting parts. Like, yeah, tell us about what a relationship is. And if maybe that would have been just the movie, I would have liked it a little more. Or, okay, tell us what sex work really looks like. How this woman who went to LA to get a record deal and then the whole world shut down and she's just been trapped there and now she has to kind of fend for herself and survive. Tell us her story. But no, we're gonna just try to tell every story in just a general and weird way. It's too much. It was too much for this film, and it added up to nothing. That's the thing. If you have too many things, it adds up to nothing. And you wasted your opportunity. So I'm not really recommending Songbird, except for people who really just want to stoke that fire, I guess. And I think that's a dangerous thing to do. I don't like to dip my toes into that ocean.
Then let's not recommend it. Period.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. I'm glad you're allowing me
Period.
today. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty serious.
It is.
If only you had a stamp. That's the only way to make this more serious.
You could put one on.
Okay. And I will also put up the trailer because I know people are very interested in this movie. Will you catch a brief glimpse of somebody's derriere?
In the trailer?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Songbird, no thank you. I just couldn't get into it, guys, despite some bedazzling.
You love bedazzling.
I was not bedazzled.
Oh.
Yeah, so sad.
Takes a little more.
I guess it does. Am I growing up? Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna have some conversation now.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.